Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of y'all, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. So I've been asked one particular question, and that was about my stance regarding the Hebrew Israelites. I mentioned before years ago, but I'll go ahead and focus on it for the first half of this, and then the second half will be about my understanding of the end of the gender war, if it ended or not. First, regarding the Hebrew Israelites, as a Muslim, of course, we don't agree on religion. Some Muslim scholars have said that they actually don't even count as people of the book. I'm not so sure. I don't know if that's a debatable topic amongst the scholars or if that's clear cut. Excuse me. But if it's not a clear cut verdict that's inarguable, then I will count them as if they are people of the book. They believe in one of the two testaments, then I don't know enough to sit up and say why the scholars said, or some scholars said, that they're not people of the book and they can't be counted as such. I'll treat them as if they are, short of any such compelling evidence. Now, as far as how it would work with them, well, I'll treat them as they treat me. I do understand that there have been different camps of Hebrew Israelites, and that there have been some who have sat up and slandered our prophet, and they have said that he plagiarized the King James version of the Bible. Now, to those who make those claims, naturally, we're not going to agree on even history. I say that because the English language is not that old. It's at the time that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was around, English would have either been Old English, which is unintelligible to us today, or it was Middle English. I don't even think it was Middle English. And that would, in other words, he was before King James, long before King James. So there are those who, I see them as a people with whom we are capable of cooperating as long as it's a clear goal. If the goal and the aim is clear, we could do it. I understand the parallels between our rules and theirs. That's my stance on them. As far as how I will treat a particular Hebrew Israelite, it depends on how they come and treat me, and how they treat other Muslims too. I don't expect them to agree. If they are Hebrew Israelites of any stripe, of any group or any variety under that name, then I expect them to disagree when it comes to faith. They have their own religion. But I would treat them strictly how they treat me, because I'm not aware of a categorical offense like I am with, let's say, Hindus. Now, if a Muslim leaves Islam to become a Hebrew Israelite, that is still apostasy. It's not because they are Hebrew Israelites. It would be because the ex-Muslim left Islam. That's apostasy. There is no personal dimension to that rule. It is, it's just a clear-cut rule. That's apostasy, and that's the gravest thing. It's the worst. It's not about where they went when they left. It's about the fact that they left. So it's not personal against them. Now, I disagree with the notion that some of them have, that we ain't African and that we ain't never been, that we were never in Africa. I don't believe that. And I would tell Muslims, there are Muslims who have the same belief, and I would tell you Muslims that subscribe to that belief, look, that's their belief. Let's not copy You could say, well, that's a question of history and then a question of belief. Well, then historical evidence and records would not have shown that we went to the Americas from Africa. If you want to talk about the presence of Africans in the Americas before Columbus, we can have a discussion. I agree with that. But I do think that there is a connection between many people, many of our people, and the children of Israel, but that connection also has to do with Africa. So it's not that connection itself is not independent of Africa. Some have the belief that we were in Africa at one point, but that it was not the children of Israel that sold us into slavery. Some have that notion. And my answer to that would be, I don't really think that the people who were not Bani Israel would have just turned around and gone after us and been like, okay, well, since they believe in one God, we're just going to grab them up and sell them off to the white man. I don't think they were into that either. Then again, I do think that there would have been a type of religious discrimination. But from my understanding, a lot of the people on the continent had some concept of there being a supreme being. And so therefore, they didn't walk around just categorically hating monotheism. The extent to which this could be true would vary from region to region. Remember the diversity of Africa and its size. That's why I stand on it. I'm trying to be as objective as possible. But I think that we were in Africa and then we were taken into the Americas. I've met Hausawi and Falata here in Saudi. Some of them look like they came straight from back home. Others of them look like they've been in the Americas for a while. Others of them, you look at and you just really don't know, you can't tell. And they, with the last names Hausawi and Falata, left home. And also Takruri is one of the last names, but they are a branch of the Hausawi. And they left home and came into the Middle East of their own free will, specifically Saudi Arabia, specifically the Hijaz, Jeddah and Mecca and Medina. They came into this of their own free will. They were not brought in chains. Today, the non-black Arabs would still refer to them as Abid behind their back, behind our backs. And they know this, but no, they, and when they got into the peninsula, some of them owned captives of any shade in any race, and some of them did not, and some of them freed those whom they owned. I actually know the grandson of one lady who amassed a good bit of property, including human property, but she freed them and even provided homes for them. But in any case, they know they came from home, and you can see them, you can look at them, and you can see certain things, and you can tell they're related to us. So I do not buy the notion that some of them have that we were never in Africa, or that we just merely went through Africa from Judea and immediately got betrayed or got sold off by those who didn't believe that there was one God. That I don't buy. And there are many Hebrew Israelites that don't necessarily subscribe to these views either. What I do think is the case is that we were able to bond with the land of North America because we were introduced to North America through the southeastern United States of today, even before it was the U.S. And before that, even through the Caribbean islands. And as you progress from the continent to the islands into the southeastern United States, it is a transition period. I'm in a transition place, or that's a series of transitional places from the tropical climate of Western Central Africa to the land of snow, so to speak. So because of that gradual shift, I think we were able to bond with the land. Anyway, that's as much as I can say about that. Now, the next, I hope that answers the questions for the ones that did ask. If a Hebrew Israelite Um, and there are those who have spoken with me, and they know if they speak politely, I speak politely. I'm not looking for bad things to happen to them because we've got a different faith. We also have a common enemy, and I am okay with um, cooperation for the greater good. Many Muslims are, many Christians are, many Jews are, many Hebrew Israelites specifically are okay with that. I don't expect them to agree with me on religion. I do think that there are those who intentionally try to look as strange as they can. But you know what? They may think the same thing about us. Honestly, first time I saw some, I didn't know what they believed. This was in Little Five Points. I happened to be driving by it once, and I saw some guys preaching on a microphone saying something about we're not Africans. And I kid you not, I thought that there was some sort of sci-fi fan group that thought that black folks came from outer space. I really thought that's what they were. I didn't know they had any ties to any testament. I didn't know that they were Hebrew Israelites. I really did not know. I'm not saying to knock them. I just really had no clue. So to be honest with you, I'm late in the game even learning about them. The other thing I was going to say is that the second question was about if I think the gender war is over. I'm very sure that it is too soon to tell if the gender war is actually truly over or not. It's been debated. This would be the third time I know of that's even been debated by anyone. So I think time will tell. I'm not saying just, you know what, I don't know. I'm saying we don't know with a certainty that it is. I do think that a type of peace talk has taken place between women that are now at least appearing to take accountability, and them also being a mix of the sincere and the insincere alike, and black men in general. That a peace talk is sort of taking place. It has sort of taken place before and is taking place now, as some of them are beginning to say, well, we're going to raise the flag and we're going to go ahead and admit our role in this and what we've done and how much of the problem we are. But here's the thing. I could trust it if it comes from a lady that's not trying to find someone, or at least not trying to get with me. If she can confess this to men with whom she's not trying to get, that's evidence in her favor. Now, why do I say that? It's real simple. The economy's bad and getting worse. And you got the rise of white nationalists, from what people have been telling me. And not only that, but that you even have some non-black Muslims amongst the white nationalists. So as far as I'm concerned, they're not Muslim. Straight up. I'm saying this categorically. If you say you're a Muslim, but you believe in some sort of white supremacy or black inferiority, I'm going to tell you straight away, to me, you are a disbeliever right off the bat. And you're a blasphemer for claiming to be us, for claiming to be Muslim while espousing such notions. So if I don't count you as, I'm not going to say you're a wayward Muslim. No, to me, you are a disbelieving, hypocrite, blaspheming kafir. That's what it is. You're not just a disbeliever. A non-Muslim would be a disbeliever to us, and we're disbelievers to them. No, you are a disbelieving blasphemer, hypocrite. If you say you're Muslim and you espouse white supremacy or black inferiority, either one, let alone both. So with that being said, with the rise of these nationalists and a dip in the economy, and they tend to go hand in hand anyway, that's an incentive. And as I have stated before, I know that it takes something to make the unaccountable take accountability. I just don't particularly care about them taking accountability after it comes down to that. I mean, it's like a kid. If a kid is misbehaving under my care and will not behave, and I have to swap that butt to get them in line, I don't care After that point, if they shape up their behavior, I had to hit you to do it. Your sibling didn't act this way, and I didn't have to hit your sibling. I just had to hit you. Okay, you're the inferior. You come from the same parents as your sibling. You just behave differently, and that's why you're inferior. You are behaviorally inferior. So at this point, I don't care about your repentance. I had to smack you to get you right. Don't do it again, and I won't smack you again, but you still ain't shit. That's how I view it. Are they a threat? Well, I mean, the ones that want to take accountability are probably not going to be a threat. The chameleons are, and I like the pressure that makes some of them take that mask off. But, I don't care. I don't really care about that. What I care about is, am I still being threatened? That's what I am concerned about, and nothing else. If I'm not being threatened, I won't threaten. But I'm not sure that it's over, and I don't think any of us can know right off the bat. I think we need more time, and then we'll figure it out. That's as much as I can guess at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and go inside and eat, and let me give a shout out to S. Jock for sending those articles. Um, I might cover that commissioner, the county commissioner in Morrow, Georgia, for Clayton County, that got intoxicated and pitched a further muck and fit, telling ambulance workers to fit the guck up out her face. I'm not sure if I'll have the time, but I just might. Now, but I want to thank you, S. Jock, for sending that. You all be good. As always, thank you for listening. Black heart, black mind, black out. Assalamu alaikum, and black heterosexual non-select male power just because they don't like it, and black patriarchy until extinction of Judgment Day. Thanks for flying again with me on Jet Black Airways, where jet black is all superb. Keep jetting black with us till the wings and the wheels fall off this mother cuss word. Gender justice forever.